Hey, Scrap and Ames fans, how are we all? So I'm up with another challenge Tuesday, which will probably be Wednesday, process video. I'm getting along with these ones though. This one is like the, number 26? So that's pretty good. I'm doing the Corbett Creations September challenge, which is a September stamping challenge. So to use stamping on your project for this month. So this is actually the first time I think I've done the Corbett Creations. Oh no, I think it's the second time this year I've done it. And I did go very all out with the stamping and even used some embossing on here, to be honest. So not that I think that's part of the challenge, but it's still stamping of some regard. Anyway. So yes, so I'm using some of the beautiful Cocoa Vanilla Studio or More Than Words, I think it is, collection. It's a bit of an older collection, but I quite liked this one. And I had this random piece here with all the beautiful colours here with the circular patterns on it, and the black and white florally one in the background. It's the background paper that has the pops of colour. Now, I kind of chose this one, and I did take ages to pick what colour background papers I was going to use, because this photo here, which is of my eldest niece, who is now 5.5, I've decided to do a baby album for her, if I haven't talked about that already. So I'm going back in time. The most prominent colour in that is that real sort of emerald kind of greeny colour that she's sitting on, the lounge that she's sitting on. And then her outfit and her doll is real pale pinks and blues and those sorts of things, and pops of other little colours, sort of pastel-y colours. So it was a mix and match. I could sort of go with anything kind of colours. So that's what I've tried to do, some soft sort of tones, and then bring in some more of the darker tone to go of that, like the green and that, which I've done throughout the layering here of the papers to match up with the background of the lounge. Anyway, so my gorgeous little niece here, bald-headed little badger she looks like here, God bless her. I don't know how old this photo, well, how old she would be. I'll probably have the date somewhere when I do this later. But I wanted to do layering. There's like a photo matte layer here, but I wanted to do them on a bit of an angle. So you'll see I fussed around a little bit here, and I think I did with this first layer, and I sort of, I don't put them straight down. You can see here I sort of tilt the photo a little bit on an angle, but then when I actually sit it down, adhere it to the main sort of background paper, trying to think then, I sort of tried to tilt the photo so then the rest of the layers look uneven. So it just gives a bit of a skew-iffy kind of look, but it just adds a little bit of interest to just that little bit of interest. So just fussing around, which was a bit of a challenge, because I'm a little bit of a like the clean, simple kind, well, not simple, but clean lines kind of gal with my scrapping. And so even when I try to make things look a bit uneven, somehow I managed to even them back up, which is what I had to stop myself from doing here. So I tried to go with the bold greeny colour to match the background of the lounge. Then I went with the pale pink colour, which is sort of the tones on her outfit, and then the black and white, which matches in with the floral main big 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I sort of tried to pull in from everywhere so that it balanced out. I did have a bit of trouble deciding on what I was going to use in this layout. I don't know why I struggled. I don't know if I was just lacking a bit of mojo of late. I haven't really had a lot of scrapping time as such, so I'm trying to keep up the videos outside of my design team stuff as well. I've had a couple of weekends where it's been really busy, where I would normally have had some block scrapping time, so I haven't been able to get sort of in my scrap space, you know, for a good block of mojo happening time. So maybe that's why I had a bit of indecisiveness. Oh, don't cut this one down. This is really cute. This is from the Cute Girl paper. Really cute. It's from the Cute Girl paper pad that I brought a little while back. I think did I buy that from the retreat? Oh, I can't remember now. No, I brought it from Spotlight. Actually, I found it out at Spotlight. The Cute Girl, the crepe paper, Cute Girl paper pad. It was the 6x6 one, which I was really surprised to find at Spotlight not so long ago. So yeah, woohoo. So just backing this second layer onto, between the second and third layer here, onto some double-sided foam tape, because I still cannot get my hands on some craft foam to pop my stuff up on. Just thought that gave a little bit of dimension, and just see how it adds those little shadows there between the layers there. I just thought that added just a little bit of interest again. I thought it was a bit cool. I'd seen someone else do it, I think, on a couple of layouts, and I thought, oh, that I might try. Yeah. So now I'm going to come in with some stamping. Now this stamp is a Kaiser Craft one that I just had gotten in my August Kitaholic kit, and I'm going to use it to create my title. So I wasn't sure what title I was going to have. Then I saw this stamp, which is very much a very wordy stamp set. So I thought this is perfect. So I think I do Grateful for You, and I use this Memento blue ink. Or Grateful Just for You, maybe. We'll see in a minute, I guess. You will see what I stamp. But yes, I do go a little Burko with the stamping. I wasn't 100% sure what stamps I was going to use at first, so I pull this one out, and then I go a little nuts, and I grab my entire stamp basket out, which isn't heaps, but it's enough, and that's when the embossing comes out, and I just go a little cray-cray with the stamps. I kind of had to stop myself in the end and go, okay, woo with the stamps, it's time to stop stamping. You've completed the challenge, it's time to stop. So stamps are not something I use a lot of, but when I do use them, I use them a lot at that time, if that makes sense. And then I say to myself, you really need to use these more often, Ames. You buy them and you don't use them. It's something now at the moment that I'm not buying unless they come in a kit. I'm not buying them because I just don't use them at all, near enough. And I think that's a common thread with crafters or paper crafters, is we don't use a lot of our stamps. And I even have them on a shelf near my desk in an open basket that are organised so that I will use them more, and I'm still not using them enough. Go figure. So yes, anyway, little stamping rant. I love these hearts from this stamp set. I actually really like this Kaiser stamp set. I do think this might get used a bit. I find that it's probably going to be really handy. So just wanted to add them there. And this is where the embossing. Now I do leave most of this in except for the heating part, I think, just to give anyone who stumbled across this that hasn't really seen how to emboss something before, you know, how to do it. Because I know that when I was new, at first I was like, I'm not doing embossing. That's just not interested. And then I saw someone do it not accidentally, but it was in a video I was watching, and I was like, oh wow, that's what that is. And then I sort of watched a few more and was like, oh, that's really cool. And then that sort of got me onto embossing. And so yeah, so I thought I'd keep this in case someone who's never embossed before might see this and be like, that's what you do. So you use this Versamark ink, which is different to your normal ink pads. It stays wet and doesn't dry, so it's a long, like it stays wet is what I'm trying to say. So therefore then, like as you can see here, I'm going to stamp along a row here with this leafy kind of pattern, which you can't see at the moment. It's a clear sort of ink. And then I'll come in with my blue embossing powder here. I did try and use the little spoon and it doesn't work. The reason I have the A4 paper is to catch all the powder that doesn't get stuck onto the stamp. The ink pad, whatever, sorry, you can see here, shaking off the excess. Now I did find with this one, I did have a bit of trouble. I think I need a better. Now I usually use you flick it off, get a paintbrush like so and brush off a little bit. It didn't. I think I probably needed to stamp one section at a time and emboss at a time. I think the inks may have started to maybe dry a little bit, so it didn't emboss as well. And then you blast it with the heat gun while it melts the little powdery granules and melts them together, and you get your melted sort of effect, embossed effect, which you'll see in the close-ups at the end anyway. It's pretty simple. It's taken me a bit of practice, still practicing, but in the beginning I was like, oh my god, and rushing it because I was worried the ink would dry, and it doesn't dry very quickly. So it's not like your stays on ink here, which dries pretty much straight away. So but you can't use those stays on inks. It's not a wet sort of ink that stays on, it just dries. So yeah, I'm sure there's technical terms for them. I don't really know what they are. Sorry, I'm not the technical gal when it comes to your paper crafting kind of stuff. I'm very basic. So I've just used a cocoa vanilla stamp there as well. I kind of went all cocoa vanilla-ish here, and just popped this beautiful floral stamp either side of the photo. I don't know why, but I just sort of then ended up going with those soft florally pretty tones or themes with this, just because she just looks beautiful and cute, and that was just what I went with in this photo. So it doesn't necessarily go baby theme, I guess, but it does in that it's soft and pretty and cute. So just going and having a look at these chipboard thickers here. As you can see there, I cut this bit out because I fluffed around, sorry, for any of those that don't like that, picking. So I picked the word love and then some chipboard little stars you can see there around as well, just to add something a bit fun and bright to the page. Now where am I going? Where have I gone? What am I doing? Oh, that's right. I went rummaging through my bottom drawer of my IKEA drawers, Alex drawers. Is that right? Yeah. Because I couldn't decide if I wanted sequins, wood veneer, or acrylic-y pieces. I think I ended up going with all of the above, to be honest. So I started with these Charms Creation embellishments. I think I put some wood veneer on as well. And then I think I come at the end with and then I think I come through at the end with, yes, some acrylic shapes. Here they are, and these are some lovely Corbett Creations shapes. Which I had popping. Actually, I think I do these ones and then I actually then come back through, come back in a little while with some more, because I was like, I really like the look of these, and I just thought it needed to add a bit more. Decision. Takes me forever to decide. More cocoa vanilla goodies. I really like these. These little, they're like little, just little randomy kind of pretty embellishment pieces. So there's like sequins and tassels and little resin flowers and what's not. I think I'm using some resin bow. I think it's a resin bow. And there's a resin flower I'm going to add in there. These are really pretty and add that real baby kind of pretty there. And I'm just using some normal PVA craft glue here to stick down my resin flower. And I know that they're not really in a cluster as such, but that didn't faze me. At first it did, I must admit. I kind of then went, well, my big floral stamps on either side of those flowers, photo is kind of almost the, it's kind of like the main part of a cluster there as well. But then there's no hard and fast rules. Does it have to have a cluster? Meh. Whatever. But I really liked how this layout turned out in the end. I add any splatters to it? Can't remember. I may not. Oh, I do, and here's where I add a few more little odds and ends to it. Some more acrylic pieces, that's right. Some little arrow chevrons, whatever you call it. And I added that black little heart just to add a pop, a little colour to that side as well, because I had the little pink heart, well, not the big pink heart, sorry, the pink arrow embellishment on that left side. Just deciding if I needed any more, and then I think I decide that it doesn't. And I think that is it for this layout. I have some close-ups here at the end, but that is it for this video. As I said, it should go up. It is Tuesday night, so by the time this finally does its thing on my computer, it should be uploaded to YouTube probably tomorrow evening, I'd say. But yes, thanks for watching. Bye.